Thank you all for coming along this crazy ride with us. Yeah,
I've never been engaged before. I've never been about to be married before. And if I screw this up, I lose a lot more than a commission.
I really need these to be sold before you go.
I have a full-time job now, which is planning your bachelor party, champagne, hookers, and cocaine.
Are you not stressed out? You need to plan your wedding.
So much crap to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to plan a wedding.
You haven't done anything.
Oh, that's why you're here.
Oh my God.
For the rest of time, you are going to be busy.
I'm always gonna be busy.
Exactly.
So I can pay for huge f***ing weddings in the middle of Greece.
You.
I don't think I'm supposed to feel this way.
Just go from feeling. Just what am I feeling?
I will do a much better job at making you know that you are my first priority.
Okay.
You want to go to Greece?
Yes.
Hello, Corfu! Ryan and Emilia are here!
Emilia has the biggest f***ing family.
This is my nephew, my niece, my cousin.
Like, I know two of them are her parents, but they all kind of mesh into one.
That way! We love Greece! Opa!
We have a little bit of problems. This place is not big enough.
Where are you? I'm like lost in the Greek maze trying to find this house.
I wasn't even considering buying anything in Greece.
Holy Greek balls.
Ryan,
What's going on?
they double booked the church.
Emilia, calm
I
down.
can't calm down. It needs to be figured out now.
Mr. Serhant! There he is! Holy sh**.
I'm not joking. Come here.
I love weddings.
Traditionally, the best man plans the bachelor party.
No.
Oh, sh**. Opa!
This is my man. It's not yours.
I don't think it's yours. I think it's Ryan's. Hey, no, stop.
This wedding has just turned into a disaster.
When do the dancers arrive? What time is the cake coming out?
Who is the wedding planner, you or me?
Apparently me.
Everything will be fine. We're getting married. It's like I would have never imagined.
Thank you guys for being here, and congratulations on being newlyweds.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Before we even talk about the show, and I've seen the first episode, you guys had Lisa Vanderpump's wedding planner.
Yes.
How did all this happen, and what is he like?
Completely insane. Completely insane and very expensive. He was, I don't know, Emilia, do you want to answer that one?
I think he was a lot of fun before the wedding. During the wedding, a little bit more difficult, I would say.
Like very opinionated, right?
Yes, very opinionated and very, absolute.
Ryan is trying to hold his tongue over there.
I don't know. He was very hard to understand.
You mean his English?
Yeah, with the English. It's hard. It was a Greek wedding. We lucked out because we found a really, really good Greek wedding planner in Greece. And so he would work with her, and they would work together, and then they would fight. It's a whole thing. It's quite the process.
What did each of you learn from putting on this massive wedding?
Get married once.
Yeah, I was about to say, never do it again.
Yeah.
At least not in that grand.
And how did this come about for you? Not the wedding, but filming the wedding.
He made me.
I think because they had followed our entire relationship. So, $1 Million Listing, I don't remember my life before. We started that show in like 2010, right? And it didn't air initially until 2012. And it's been on the air ever since. And so I was very, very single when the show started, sort of. And they filmed me, not being engaged and dating. And so then they filmed as I met Emilia and as we got engaged and everything. So it's kind of seemed like the right thing to do. And it was supposed to just be part of $1 Million Listing. It was going to be kind of like Frederick's wedding, just kind of part of an episode. And then it was going to be like this half-hour little special at the end of an episode. And then then it turned into like this hour-long thing at the end of an episode. And then before we knew it, maybe just because we're so crazy, and our families are just insane, it turned into this 4-episode miniseries.
What was it like filming it? As opposed to, and I guess this is more of a question for you, how did it differ filming this, which is so personal, in your home, dealing with all of these logistics, as opposed to filming $1 Million Listing?
It's very, very different. I mean, first of all, when we film MDL, it's about him.
He's in his office or going to meetings.
Right, and whenever we film together, it's just a really small part of that. And this is the first time that you see more of me, more of my family, more of his family.
Leonidas.
Leonidas.
King Leonidas. He's totally crazy. That's his real name.
Yeah.
That's Ryan's father-in-law.
From Sparta. It's real. Totally crazy. So that's where her family's from. And then you also get to see, we went, because my family's never been a part of the $1 Million Listing whatsoever. And this, I had to really, really push them to do it. And so we flew everyone to Wisconsin to my grandmother's nursing home, and we filmed with my entire extended family and my mom and my Nana at her 90th birthday party, giving us relationship advice in Mequon, Wisconsin. You should all go there. And so it was super personal. I mean, we're in therapy on the show. There is still real estate, but it is very, very, very personal. So it was very different.
And what about for you? I mean, being front and center now.
It's very new to me. I don't know. I think I just kind of go along with it. But ultimately, I mean, we've been together for a really long time. And I'm a very private person. But this time, I think I just finally reached a point where I had to embrace it. I hope people will get to see a little bit of our relationship and maybe relate to it somehow. And I think in agreeing to film this, I wanted to show that, you know, it's a big deal to merge cultures, and it's a very big deal to talk about religion, and it's a very big deal to talk about, you know, families merging and getting along, and a young couple in New York, both working and both very ambitious. How do you balance everything? And not everything is just about the wedding and the wedding planning, but it's about everything that goes into it. I mean, we got engaged, we bought a house, to then creating this whole big thing, and everybody has followed our journey, so I think this is the first time you get to see in depth. And once the cat is out of the bag, you can't put it back in, I guess.
But it was really sweet to see that you guys have the same issues that I think any couple does, where you're trying to reach them at work, and you're like, don't put her through because I have meetings.
Is that what you said?
What?
I haven't seen this yet.
I haven't seen they won't show us the show. $1 Million Listing, they give us the episode a week before.
Oh, yeah.
This, they don't show us anything.
You were calling them about the guest list.
And now I know why.
Like,
Thank you,
I need to have the list, I need to have the list, I need to have the list.
Right.
And you had someone coming in for a meeting. But it was really funny. It was like,
I think that's it. I mean, we're not impervious to, real life things. And yeah, he doesn't answer his phone apparently.
I do. I was just busy at that time. I also think it was really nice to show Greece. Greece was great.
I didn't see that in the first episode.
Not yet. You will. You will. To show Greece and to show how beautiful Greece was. Because when we started planning it a year ago to do it in Greece, and then we were filming this year, and there's so many people are, they're like nervous about Europe. They're nervous about Greece, the economy. They're like, well, and Americans are so quick to judge, to say, well, I don't even know. I mean, how are you going to get married in Greece? Do they have roads? Is there an economy still there? I mean, these are like real things that smart American people would say to us, and we're like, are you stupid? Like, are you crazy? It's like the most beautiful country in the world. Of course, it's awesome. And then you had, there were terrorist attacks happening right around the time that we were there, very close to us, in Turkey and France, and so there was a lot of people kind of on edge. So it's nice to show, how beautiful that country is and how awesome the people are, and we were able to, give a lot of them a lot of work for a very short period of time. So it was very cool.
Yeah, that was very important to me, to have the wedding in Greece, but not only that, everything that we sourced, we wanted to source locally and promote an island that not a lot of people visit, Corfu, although it's one of the most beautiful islands in Greece. Everybody sort of goes to Mykonos and Santorini and those kind of places. And I really wanted to choose a place that was beautiful, but not a lot of people would think to visit, but it's actually very easy to get to from every major city in Europe.
Now, what did each of you learn about the other person from shooting this?
That in difficult situations, Ryan's way of, I see how fast I can answer this.
I was thinking.
The way we deal with stress. I think that was this was the very first time I really understood how we deal with stress. And when he panics, his defense is to just, he goes silent and he sort of disappears and he takes himself out of the situation. Whereas I think I'm very verbal.
She gets much louder.
I'm very verbal, and
Yeah.
I, show you that I'm stressed, and I just get it all out. And I think that was the biggest thing that I learned from this.
I don't think I disappear.
Yes,
It was
you
a
do.
really big villa, so it was easy to get lost in different
You
rooms
were on vacation.
in moments of stress. There was a lot of stress with this wedding. For me, the big thing that really came apparent, because people kept telling me, is, I've lived in New York for a while. I grew up outside Boston. I've got family kind of all over the U.S., and so I get to see them all the time. But with Emilia, she came to New York for a very short period of time, and somehow in that very short period of time, 5 years ago, that's when we met, and then I suckered her into staying. And so I know her brother and her sister, because they're both here, but I really didn't know the rest of her family. You'll see in the show, there's a ton of them. Like, they keep coming. There's a lot of them. And to see how important, I know family's important to her, but to really see, like, how important family was to her and how she would, take a bullet for anybody in her family, that was really, really something cool for me to see.
What was the most stressful part of planning all this?
All of it?
All of it really
Come on, the
was.
food tastings must have been, not stressful.
No,
Correct.
actually, that was the quickest thing I chose. The food was, every decision was pretty quick, because I really wanted it to be quick. Because if it were up to me, I would have just gone to City Hall to get married. But quick decisions, but because it's a destination wedding, you can't really travel that often. So I went once and just made a few decisions and then watched everything really go a little funny when we were there. Because when you plan it in advance and then we got there and kind of things just went a little off. And I think that's stressful because you're a few days away and you have to make it work.
Communication, by far, is the most stressful, especially when you have Kevin Lee as your wedding planner talking to, what was our wedding planner's name in Greece? Lorraine. And they're very different people. And
I think Kevin Lee's probably very different from a lot of people.
yes, he
Having
is.
seen him on
Yes.
The Real Housewives.
Yeah.
But the communication and then the logistics and the coordination, because we had just over 200 people there. Most of whom, everyone had to fly in. No one's from Corfu. So, and a lot of them came in from the US and kind of all over the world. And so just coordinating where everyone's staying, how they're getting places, when the bus leaves from here and who they talk to and this, that, the other. That was by far the most stressful because if one little thing goes wrong, 200 people send you international text messages and WhatsApps. And you're like, and we've got cameras in our face, trying to
That
do
was the
other
strange
things.
thing.
And it was just every day for a week, everyone was asking us what was going on, how to get there, and
What to
do
wear.
we have food? Yeah,
Strangest thing.
Wait, they have food in Greece? What?
they do have food.
But guests
the
asking
best
you
part.
questions. It's the weirdest thing. You're at a wedding. Why would you ask me? Just Google? Or ask a wedding planner? I don't know. Everyone texted us every day.
Or plan ahead of time and it's
Right.
called the internet.
Yeah.
Ryan, without spoiling anything, what did she look like on her wedding day? Describe it.
Oh man. It sounds so cliche, but it's very. I dream about it a lot. I dreamt about it a lot beforehand, and I still, even now, I don't know why, because I have you in real life, but that moment of her coming up those stairs, because we got married on the island of Corfu, which is an island, but then we got married on an island off that island called Ponte Canisi, which is a rock with a church and a peacock on top of it. No joke, like a live peacock. He just lives there and watches weddings. You know. And you have to come. There's no aisle. You have to come up these long white stairs. It's like the most dramatic place we could ever find, and so we found it. And it was very. I mean, she looked like a dream. You know, like a total dream. Super hot, also.
What's your overarching memory of that day? The peacock? Imagine if you're like, no, I wasn't getting married. It was a peacock.
I distinctively remember that I was really stressed out and really, really tired up until the wedding day. And when I got into the little boat to go over with my father and my brother, I was just so happy and so giddy, and anything could go wrong and I didn't care. And I remember seeing him for the first time and seeing my family and realizing that I was getting married in Greece, and that meant everything to me. And I think that was the best moment, because from that moment on, everything just went by so fast, and I was just really happy. And I remember feeling very happy.
And now you guys have basically a video journal, a video diary
To show our
of this
kids,
whole experience.
Mhm.
Speaking of, if or when you have kids, would you ever do a show about that? Or is it, this is one and done?
I used to say never for the wedding and never for me to be on camera, but here we are. So you never know at this point.
Yeah. We'll talk later. We'll negotiate it out.
And Ryan, what's ahead on $1 Million Listing for you?
What's ahead on $1 Million Listing?
Or $1 Million
Apparently a new
Listings?
cast member. I think so. They're looking right now for a new cast member because Luis stepped down to go boating or something, and then I mean we do a lot of Brooklyn. I think will be this year, right? A lot of Brooklyn. We do a lot in Brooklyn now. Just opened up an office in Bed-Stuy, and
I'm getting my broker's license.
oh, great! She was sworn in to the bar yesterday.
Congratulations! This has been a huge year for you.
Yeah, it was an
You're not
awesome
really
deal.
getting your broker's license.
Yeah, I am.
He's like,
now
what?
It's easy.
Now it's easy. Now she doesn't have to take
Now I
the
just have to
test.
sign it. Yeah, I just have to sign it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I assume there's going to be a significant amount of stress and drama and real estate, of which a good amount might be Brooklyn.
And how much do you foresee yourself being part of the show going forward in the same capacity that you were before?
Yes, I hope so. I hope not more. Just keep it the way it is, because I think the show is very much about real estate, and I like that aspect of it.
You could get your broker's license and be the new Luis.
You and I would fight too much at work.
Yeah, that'd be weird.
And let's turn to our audience.
Hello. I
Hi.
wanted to know, were there any wedding traditions that were extremely important to both of you that you incorporated in your wedding?
Good question.
I wanted to observe all the Greek Orthodox wedding traditions, which are a little bit crazy, and you'll get to watch them. Some of them I didn't even know existed, but you'll see in promos and photos, one of the things, the groom holds the bouquet and waits at the church for the bride, and he gives the bouquet to her. So you'll see photos of Ryan holding my bouquet. It's, because he hands it to me. And we didn't do anything in the typical American wedding. We just did everything the way the Greeks do it, with the rice and the walking.
So much rice.
Yeah.
For a long time. A considerable amount of rice.
The guests throw rice during the ceremony.
For a long time.
You
It's
can
not just
see it.
like a little rice. Like you have to walk
Pounds
around
of
this
rice.
fountain
The
3
more rice,
times.
the more luck.
Yeah. And it like starts to hurt. I'm a man about it, but it starts to hurt.
Are they like hurling it?
Yeah, out of the corner of my eye, and I will never forget this, because we have these 2 really old Greek Orthodox priests who walk really slow around this fountain. So we're walking really slow, as 200 people apparently had been given like ammo of rice. And then they were told, now is the time. And people were like, oh, here we go. And I just saw like my friends standing on chairs, like no smiles. We have wedding photos of us being like this. And then in the background, I've got friends who were like this. And then the next photo, they're like, ugh. It was like Spider-Man, like rice. And it was like everywhere. His
entire team that was there just took it out on him.
Yes.
Just kept throwing.
Yeah. I would do the same. I mean, good for them while they had it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
Hi, thank you for being
Hi.
here.
Hi.
What was the least stressful thing about planning the wedding?
You know what? The wedding was awesome. I feel like the more we talk about it, the more we talk about how stressful and intense it was. At the end of the day, the wedding was an awesome, amazing experience. But the least stressful part,
Spending time with family. Like even though you're filming, you kind of forget that the cameras are there. So you're going about, what you normally would do. And I think spending time with your family was the least stressful. It was a lot of fun. I got to see everybody all together. Your entire family was there from Texas, from the East Coast. I think
we
that was
have
the
a lot
best
of
part.
friends who talk about being really, really stressed about family at their weddings. Like, I don't know where to sit this aunt and this uncle and this nephew and where my friend's going to be. And they're nervous about the family's meeting because they don't get along. And we have the exact opposite. Like, we had to keep our family off each other.
It was perfect. Everybody got along so well. So I think
That's ideal, right?
yeah, I
No
think
fighting.
watching that was perfect. That we
Maybe not for Bravo. They probably would have liked.
they probably would have wanted more
Like
drama.
a few dads taking it out. That
No,
would've been good.
everybody did so well.
King Leonidas behaved himself.
Oh, he was the life of the party. Everybody came up to us at the end of this wedding after the week was over and said how awesome my father is. It's like my dad who's the most, very stern and serious. He was the life of the party.
And last question, please.
Hi. What are some of the cuisines and dishes you had at your reception?
We did a twist on the Greek salad, which we did in kind of like a gazpacho soup, so it was really unique. We did a risotto, so we combined a little bit of Greek.
Oh, that was awesome. I remember that.
And then
just
beyond
now.
that, I realized I only had 2 meals, so the rest I don't know.
Yeah, then we had,
I
we
didn't
had lamb, right? I think we had a lamb.
Don't know.
Oh, man.
Must have
That's
had
a good
lamb. You're in
question.
Greece.
I'll get back to you.
We probably did.
There was a lot going on at that moment. There was
But
a lot
that's
of
it. I
people.
mean, you eat a little bit and you never eat again the rest of the night. But we had like a 7-course meal that we did, and we didn't want to have Greek food at the wedding because we figured everybody was just eating Greek food the whole week.
We haven't seen it yet, obviously, but the one part I'm really looking forward to see what it looks like, is because this whole wedding we planned sight unseen from New York, happening in Greece. And so when I check that little box to say we want fireworks, I think about them as American fireworks, right? Like in the sky.
Yeah.
It's silly me. So and I then totally forgot that we paid for these fireworks and we're gonna have the biggest fireworks show. And so then we go to do our first dance, and we're doing our dance, the music comes on, and all of a sudden, completely surrounding us, and then in the pool that the reception is around, explodes in fireworks without anyone ever saying anything was about to happen or anything. And literally, there's one photo of the both of us. We're like
terrified.
holding each other, like something
just
terrible just
happened?
happened, and there's these fireworks going. I mean, at the end of it, it was really, really cool, and I hope it looks as cool as I think it's going to. But it was totally terrifying, and no one told us at all. And they're like, "What? You paid for fireworks?" And we're like, "Oh, thanks. Yes, I did. You're right."
Apparently, we paid for many fireworks.
There's a lot. There's a lot of fireworks. Yeah, crazy.
So read the fine print.
Before you sign on for fireworks. And when does this premiere?
Tonight, 9 p.m. on Bravo is episode 1. There's 4 of them, so it's every Thursday. And then $1 Million Listing LA will come back, I guess, October 6th. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
newlyweds.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
and Mrs. Serhant.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.